You're listening to Sound Moves Today, the podcast about real estate in the Puget Sound region. Sound moves for your life. Today's episode, I'm going to go over some of the books in my library that I've been reading of late. No particular theme behind any of them, just a wide variety of different topics. The books I'm enjoying reading and learning from and growing through as I go through them. So it's kind of a shout out to Charles Langkip, who I follow on Instagram, who does a fantastic review of books that he's read. I am not going to go into as much detail as he does, and I'm not bilingual like he is, so you're not going to get the French and English version of this report. But if you like to read, I highly encourage you to check out Charles Langkip on Instagram too. Fascinating reviewer of works. He's French Canadian, used to live in Singapore until recently. Now he's recently moved to Europe. So, in his first book, and these are in no particular order, like I said, just pulled them off my bookshelf and was going to share them with you. So, this book, Martin Luther King Jr. on Leadership, great resource. I was born just at the tail end of this period of time in U.S. history, and I was born in Canada too, so that did not affect me or my early growing up as much, but it's good to go back and read through this period of time, how Martin Luther King Jr. dealt with the struggles that the African American community faced with such grace and honor, and never giving up, and truly believing that we could do good things, and that would win out. So, very, very good resource on leadership during tough times, and how to win through love and forgiveness. This book here I've been reading for a while, Reagan Diaries, just basically chronicles Reagan's presidency. I was overseas most of the time that Reagan was president, moved over to Norway in 1981. But it's fun to go back and read these stories and remember the news reports coming out and where I was and what I was doing at the time. And he is definitely one of my heroes too. So that is a very fun book to read over. This one here, A Republic If You Can Keep It. This is by Neil Gorsuch, one of the new SCOTUS members. This provides an excellent discussion of the Constitution's structure and of the judge's role within it. It also talks a lot about Neil Gorsuch and how he is fitted for the robes he wears and things like that. So it is a very good resource to have about somebody who is currently in a big position in our government and ruling on different laws. So this book here, Malcolm Gladwell, The Tipping Point. Malcolm Gladwell is one of my very favorite authors. I love his style. He puts a lot of work into research in his books, and his way of writing always encourages you to think and challenges your previous understanding of things, which is one of the things I like about his works. I've listened to all of his books on audio. This is the only one I have actually in paper copy, but it's fascinating read all the time and really gets the little gray cells, as Hercule Poirot likes to call them, moving in your head. So that is a very great one. This one right now, Patrick Lencioni, The Advantage. Patrick Lencioni is one of my very favorite business authors. He has written a number of books on business, and this is just one of the collection of his. I read all of his books. He has a very easy way of writing. He takes a theory of his, puts it in a fictional story. You get to see how it plays out in the fictional story, and then he explains how his theory works out in real life, and goes into detail on how how it's structured. His books are super easy to read. I mean, you can pour over one of these in an afternoon, typically. But they're very entertaining, and he runs a group called the Table Group, and just a lot of good information for business people. So this book here, The Insanity of Obedience, if you want to be challenged in your faith, I highly encourage you to read this. This is by Nick Ripken. He's got a series on the insanity books, Insanity of Faith, Insanity of Obedience. And this, if you are not familiar with persecution at all, these are good books to go over, because there is an awful lot of suffering in this world. And we in North America are very much removed from and somewhat unaware of the kind of suffering that other people in this world go through. So these are good books to read to get a different perspective, and maybe inspire you to do something for that. This book here, another business book by Ethan Butte and Stephen Passanelli, HumanCentered Communication. Just picked up this one recently, but this talks about digital pollution and how human-centered communication is actually the solution. So it's getting back to things like personal interactions, not just interacting on social media and things like that, but do face-to-face interviews, meetings with people, go out to coffee with somebody, shake a hand, give a hug to somebody, things like that. These are important things to remember, because we are all human and we crave that human interaction. The pandemic did not help with that at all, but doing videos and things like that, as long as you're communicating personally to someone too, and not just a generic post, that is a good thing. So, and then this book too, I'm going through right now with a mentor, a friend of mine, The Measure of a Man by Gene Getz. Fascinating book. This talks about true masculinity is not measured by strength, wealth, or position, but by 20 biblical qualities drawn from the Apostle Paul's letters to his young proteges, Timothy and Titus. This is a great book. The chapters are really short, but it gives very good information on how to live your life, and talks about what being a true man is. So, Measure of a Man by Gene Getz. I highly recommend this book too. So, it's a little bit shorter episode today. Don't want to, but those are some of the books I have available. And if you are interested in getting a hold of them, let me know. Another one I picked up, which I don't have with me because I think I left it in my car, but I shared on Facebook last week when it came in the mail, actually, called Speaking Life by Eddie Poole. He's one of my referral partners in real estate. He's out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, the Nashville area. But a very good book about how to encourage people and build people up too. So that is my collection of books for you guys today. hope some of these might have piqued your interest and you'd be interested in getting a hold of them. Let me know. I'd be happy to share them with you. So, and that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care.